Hi everyone, this is Anna. Thank you so much for being here. In this video, I'll show you how to get the most out of your stash by creating 4 mini note cards out of one sheet of cardstock. Also, watch for an announcement on a giveaway from Hero Arts later on in this video. But first, let's take a quick look at these cards. This is what's called a pocket slimline. This size is so perfect to add to gifts and to use as little notes to friends and family. This size also does not waste paper like most slimline card sizes do. And it's the perfect size for single stamped images you may have in your stash. I have here an A2 size card. The pocket slimline is smaller, about half its size. This fun little note card size was inspired by a crafty friend of mine, Virginia. I will link to her YouTube channel in the description box below, and please give her a follow while you're there. She's an amazing person, and I just thought these were complete genius. I also made 2 different styles of envelopes for these cards. For this one, I used an envelope punch board, which I will show you later on in the video. I will also show you another style of envelope just in case you do not have a punch board. Let's start by making the card bases. Here I have a piece of heavyweight cardstock measuring 8.5 by 11. With a paper trimmer, I'll cut this in half on the 11-inch side at 5.5. With this, you can create 2 standard A2 card bases by just folding it in half. But with a pocket slimline, you can create 4 card bases. I cut it in half again at 4.25. Now I have 4 pieces of cardstock panel measuring 4.25 by 5.5. To create the pocket slimline, all I will do is fold it in half. I take my scoreboard and score it in half on the 5.5-inch side at 2 3/4. I do this to all 4 panels, and now I have 4 pocket slimlines out of 1 piece of cardstock. Love about this size is that it's perfect for small images. I have here 3 images stamped with watercolor-friendly ink on a piece of watercolor paper. I watercolored them with Hero Arts reactive inks. These images are from 3 different Hero Arts stamp sets. This one heart-shaped key image is from the Key to My Heart stamp set. And the one with a small flower and leaves image is from the Peonies Bunch stamp set. I also stamped a cute little girl holding a bunch of heart-shaped flowers. This is from the Flower Girls stamp set. I will watercolor this little girl with reactive inks and show you how easy it is. The inks I am using are Taffy from the Sunshine collection, Pool Party and Blue Raspberry from the C collection of reactive inks. Before I started watercoloring, I smooshed the inks onto a palette. Here I'm just using a piece of laminated paper. I also have a number 4 paintbrush, water, and a paper towel. With a wet paintbrush, I took some of the taffy ink and started painting the girl's dress. As you can see, I am just doing simple watercoloring. I try not to put too much ink on my brush, keeping the first layer very light. Then I took some more of the ink and then used it to darken some areas of the dress, especially the areas closest to the bouquet of flowers and the folds of her dress. I washed the pink ink off my brush, tapped it gently onto the paper towel, then took some of the blue raspberry ink. I then painted the details on the girl's dress with this beautiful teal color. I took some of the pool ink to color in the girl's shoes and used the darker teal color to add some additional depth. For the background, I smushed blue Hawaii ink onto the palette, and with a thicker number 8 brush, diluted the ink with lots of water to create a very light wash. I then used that to paint around the girl, taking care not to get too close to the outline of the image. Then I washed off the brush with water to dilute the color in order to soften it. While the paper was still a little wet, I took some more of the ink and continued to darken the areas closest to the outline. Then washed the brush again with water and continued to soften the edges. Then I set it aside to dry. After it dried, I put the panel on top of a paper towel, then took some of the leftover ink, diluted with more water, and gently tapped the brush to create splatters. I covered the image with my hand so as not to get the splatters onto the little girl. I happened to get some stray splatters on the image, so I took the paper towel and dabbed it off before it dried. I cut down the panel to 1/8 of an inch on all sides and matted it on pink cardstock and adhered it onto a card base. Here is another look at the cards. I really kept the watercoloring very simple, just using a few colors. For this little flower girl, I used the stencil to ink blend the background, adding some splatters. I colored her with Copics, also keeping the color palette fairly simple as well. Earlier, I mentioned the giveaway. Hero Arts has so generously provided us, the members of the global design team, these 3 stamps and die bundles to give away via an Instagram hop. Each of us will pick 3 winners, and each winner will receive 1 stamp and die bundle. I have all the details of the giveaway on my Instagram post, which I will link below. Come and join the IG hop for more chances of winning. See you there! Now that I have these cute little slimline cards, I will need envelopes for them. First, I'll show you how I created one with the use of an envelope punch board. I have here a piece of lightweight pattern paper from my stash measuring 6 by 6 inches. I place the paper on the punch board and line up the edge at 3 5/8. I punch and then score using the scoring tool that comes with the board. I rotate it to the left and line up the score line with this tab that is sticking out. I punch, then score again. I rotate it one more time and line up, then punch and score. Then I do the same on the final side. I then use the scoring tool or bone folder to reinforce the scored lines. This will be the top flap, so I take it back to the punch board and round out the tips using the corner rounder punch at the top. I like to trim this part of the envelope, so I mark it with a pencil on both ends and trim it using scissors. I like to do it because I think it looks better and more finished. Then I add thin beads of glue to the edges to seal it. Isn't this so cute? And this envelope is just perfect for using up those hordes of 6 by 6 pattern paper. Here is another option if you do not have an envelope punch board. This time, I'm using foiled vellum, but you can use any paper you may have in your stash. First, I will trim this 8 by 8 sheet at 6 1/2. Rotate then trim again at 5 3/4. I've had this foiled vellum in my stash for so long, and I found the perfect way to use it. I take the scoreboard again, then on the 6.5-inch side, I score at 2 inches, then at 5 inches. I rotate it to the 5 3/4 side and score at 3/4, then at 5 1/4. Then using my bone folder, I reinforce all along the scored lines. This vellum is a little on the thicker side, so I make sure to really crease the folds well. Then I will trim off the parts that are not needed. With scissors, I will trim this out at a slight angle on each corner. This is the top flap, so I will angle it a little bit more than the bottom flap. I will do the same on all 4 sides. After trimming off the corners, this is what it looks like. I added a thin bead of glue to the edge of the smaller of the 2 flaps, then sealed it. Then I added glue also to the bottom flap to seal it. You can also use thin double-sided tape for this, but I prefer to use liquid glue. I just love how the image of the little girl can be seen from outside the envelope. It's so pretty and dainty looking. Here are the finished cards and envelopes. You can even gift these and put them in a box. Speaking of box, I will be uploading a video soon on how to make custom-sized boxes for card sets. I have an easy-to-follow formula on how to create boxes for any size cards or tags. So if you don't want to miss that tutorial, please subscribe, and don't forget to check out the link below for the giveaway. If you enjoyed this video, I have other videos you might want to check out, which I will link at the end. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something new. Till next time, bye!